My name is Alyssa DeHart, and today I will be talking to you about nutrition and the food guide pyramid. There are many different theories about what is good eating, and lately especially we hear many things about good diets or things that you can do to lose weight or be a healthy person. Food is our fuel, and just like a car needs gasoline, we need food to fuel our bodies. And also, just like gasoline in a car, the cleaner the fuel, the better the engine runs. As with our body, the better the fuel that we put into it, or food, the better our body will work for us. The more energy that we will have day to day, and a greater longevity and enhanced quality of life for the future. When I think about nutrition, I find it's easiest for ourselves on a daily basis to just keep it very simple. For me, the most useful guideline that I have is the food guide pyramid. This is a new guideline that incorporates the things that we learned earlier in our lives about the 4 food groups, but gets a little bit more specific and it's a great visual aid in that the groups are shown in proportion to the amount of servings that we need from each group. Also, that it is put into a building block shape is very helpful to me, to be able to actually see what should be the basis of our diet and then how we can build on that base to have a healthy, balanced diet for each day. First of all, I'd like to go through the food guide pyramid. We probably all have seen it, but I don't know if we've all taken a chance to really think about the serving sizes that it suggests and exactly what that means for each day as we eat. And then I will just go over some general guidelines that we can all use in our diets day to day. Beginning with the bread and cereal, rice and pasta group, that is the basis of the food guide pyramid. It is the largest block of the building, and it should be the largest amount in our diet from that group. This group provides us with complex carbohydrates and fiber. There are many vitamins in the bread also. However, generally the grain group is to fill us up and give us basic energy needs. With that, the general guidelines are 6 to 11 servings. There leaves some room for, there's 5 more servings between 6 and 11, so the 6 is for people who are a smaller body type or for people who are interested in losing some weight. If you are interested in maintaining your weight and are a larger person, then you would want to eat the 11 servings from that group. An interesting thing to note is that 1 slice of bread equals 1 serving, and 1/2 of a cup of rice or cooked pasta equals 1 serving. So when you get a whole bowl of pasta for dinner, that may actually be 5 servings, not just 1 serving as we think of generally in our mind. To go on to the next group, there is the vegetable group. From that group we are to get 3 to 5 servings. Again, the smaller number for those who are smaller or interested in losing weight. From this and the fruit group, we get most of our vitamins and minerals, and a general rule between these 2 groups is the more colorful the vegetable or fruit, the more vitamins that will be in it. Generally, many of the orange fruits are rich in vitamin A, and strawberries, watermelon, and broccoli, and those types of things give us a lot of vitamin C. We also want to look for these in the closest form to natural as possible. So the fresh fruits and vegetables will give us more fiber and generally more vitamins. Going up the pyramid it gets a little bit smaller as you go up. There's the milk, yogurt, and cheese group. This is where we get most of our calcium. It is also a great source for our protein as well. For instance, a glass of milk will have as much protein as 1 ounce serving of meat, or a half of a serving of meat. From the milk, yogurt, and cheese group, we want to choose things that are low or non-fat. From the meat group, we should be receiving 2 to 3 servings. This in the meat group is included poultry, fish, dried beans, eggs, and nuts. In this area, a serving of meat equals about the size, it's 2 ounces, or about the size of a deck of cards for the meat, or 2 eggs, 4 tablespoons of peanut butter, and a half of a cup of nuts. In this area, again, we want to choose things that are low fat. The milk and the poultry group are both from animals. The fat comes from animals, and so this is saturated fat, which is especially something that we need to watch for, because this is what contributes to cholesterol levels and high blood pressure and that. Then on the very top of the pyramid, in just the smallest block, smaller than all of the rest, is fats, oils, and sweets. And these we are to eat very sparingly. The old adage, a little bit of sugar on top, is pretty much the idea for the food guide pyramid. Also, in looking at the pyramid, we can see that the milk and the meat group are things that will just kind of give an accent to our diet on a daily basis, but they should not be centered around that. The general guidelines for eating a healthy diet would be to eat a variety from each of these food groups. All of the 5 food groups contain some nutrients that we need on a daily basis, but none of them contain all of the nutrients that we need. So that is why it's important to eat some of each of the groups, and not to just stick to the regular orange that you have every day, but try some new fruits and new vegetables, because different fruits and different vegetables contain different vitamins for our health. So interchanging those day by day will help us get all of the vitamins and minerals that we need to be strong and healthy. I talked a little bit about choosing low or non-fat foods. This is especially important because only 30% of the calories in our diet should come from fat. And that may sound kind of hard to, how do we know what contains less than 30% calories from fat? Luckily, we have the Food Guide Labeling Act that went into effect in 1994, and that requires all food manufacturers to put a label on their food that breaks down, among other things, the calories from fat. It's up usually towards the top of the label. You'll see calories and then calories from fat. It's a simple equation. For instance, if the food had 100 calories in it, only 30 should be coming from fat. So the foods that may be 124 calories and 96 of those are from fat are not a low-fat or lean choice food for us to eat. And perhaps they wouldn't be categorized, for instance, if it was a meat, they wouldn't be categorized necessarily in the meat category, but maybe rather in the fats, oils, and sugar group on top. So we need to watch that the foods that we are eating are of good quality. And then we need to be choosing foods that are high in fiber and close to their natural state. This holds true with everything except for the dairy group, the milk, yogurt, and cheese group. These we would like some things to be altered. Rather than drinking the whole milk, the skim milk would be better for you. A lot of people think that skim milk lacks some of the nutrients or content that whole milk has. In fact, skim milk is a much healthier choice. It contains all the vitamins and minerals, but just lacks the fat that naturally came with it. However, with the dairy group, regular milk is more healthy than, for instance, chocolate milk. And then, last but not least, is our water consumption. Our bodies are made of 60% water, and that lets us know that we do need quite a bit of water to maintain hydration throughout the day. The suggestion for water is 6 to 8 cups a day. Maybe perhaps rather than drinking a soda, which would be in the sweets group that we should be having sparingly, we could substitute water for that. Many times I find when I am feeling hungry or tired or something, it's actually that I need some water to hydrate myself. And a good idea is to wake up in the morning and have a full glass of water then, and then have a full glass of water with each meal throughout the day. This will help you ensure that you are getting at least 4 cups of water, and then you just need to take a few moments to have a couple more cups in the day. In conclusion, healthy eating does take some thought, and to get used to the serving sizes of different foods, it will take some attention initially. I find that once you've taken maybe a week of paying attention to what you're eating, or a trip to the grocery store where you look at the labels of what maybe you usually get and decide which things are a good quality food, or how much of that good quality food you should be having, I find that then it becomes kind of second nature. You recognize a half of a cup of rice on your plate, and you know when you're having 3 servings instead of 1. And it's actually quite refreshing to know what you're eating and to recognize that you are feeding your body fuel that will help it run longer and better for the future and help you have a greater quality of life.